Hi guys. Some of you may already know that this is one of my favorite books. I usually read it to the older guys when they're bored. It really strikes a chord with me. It's called 14 Cows for America by Wilson Kameli Naomi and Carmen Agradidi, and illustrated by Thomas Gonzalez. And these illustrations are amazing. They are so lifelike. I just love it. 14 Cows for America. And it's about 9/11 and what you can do, what anyone could do to help, even if you have nothing. And it makes me think of times like now where we're stuck at home and we feel like there's nothing we can do. But I think we all can do something to help each other. 14 Cows for America. And here's a man who looks like he's in Africa, right? Because there are giraffes. And here he is, he's got a backpack on his back, walking. The remote village waits for a story to be told. News travels slowly to this corner of Kenya. As Kameli nears his village, he watches a herd of bull giraffes cross the open grassland. He smiles. He has been away a long time. And there he is, he's got sneakers, which seems out of place in an African grassland, right? So I wonder where he's coming from. Look at that. Look at the way they're all dressed, and look at what he's wearing. One of these is not like the other, huh? A girl sitting under a guava tree sees him first and cries out to the others. The children run to him with the speed and grace of cheetahs. He greets them with a gentle touch on the head, a warrior's blessing. The rest of the tribe soon surrounds Kameli. These are his people. These are the Maasai. Once they were feared warriors. Now they live peaceably as nomadic cattle herders. They treat their cows as kindly as they do their children. Now remember this is an important part. They sing to them. They give them names. They shelter the young ones in their homes. Without the herd, the tribe might starve. So think about how important these cows are. To the Maasai, the cow is life. Supa, hello, Kameli hears again and again. Everyone wants to greet him. His eyes find his mother across the Enkan, the ring of huts with their roofs of sun-baked dung. She spreads her arms and calls to him, Akau Akua, welcome, my son. Kameli sighs. He is home. This is sweeter and sadder because he cannot stay. He must return to the faraway country where he is learning to be a doctor. He thinks of New York. Then he remembers September. A child asks if he has brought any stories. Kameli nods. He has brought with him one story. It has burned a hole in his heart. But first, he must speak with the elders. So the elders are the people who are basically the village managers. They're the bosses. Later, in a tradition as old as the Maasai, the rest of the tribe gathers under the acacia tree to hear the story. There is a terrible stillness in the air as the tale unfolds. With growing disbelief, men, women, and children listen. Buildings so tall they can touch the sky? Fires so hot they can melt iron? Smoke and dust so thick they can block out the sun? So what he's describing is what happened on 9/11 in New York City when the two tall towers fell to the ground because two planes flew into them. The story ends. More than 3,000 souls were lost. A great silence falls over the Maasai. Kameli waits. He knows his people. They are fierce when provoked, but easily moved to kindness when they hear of suffering and injustice. So look at that face. It's so dark, but the details are so amazing. You could almost feel like they're there. They're here with me as I read it. At last an elder speaks. He is shaken, but above all, he is sad. What can we do for these poor people? Nearby, a cow lows, heads turned toward the herd. To the Maasai, Kimeli says softly, the cow is life. So remember, this tribe, this elder is saying, what can they do to help the people in New York? Now, the people in New York have everything. They've got these tall skyscrapers. You think there's nothing that they don't have. And here these people, the Maasai, have nothing, you would think. And how can they possibly help? But they still want to help, despite what they have and don't have. Turning to the elders, Kimeli offers his only cow and karos. He asks for their blessing. They give it gladly, but they want to offer something more. So even though that cow means everything to them, they are still willing to share. He is still willing to share his cow. And remember, the title of the book is called 14 Cows for America. The tribe sends word to the United States Embassy in Nairobi. In response, the embassy sends a diplomat. Now, a diplomat is the man who represents the United States. He's coming to meet these village elders as a representative of the United States. His jeep jounces along the dusty, rugged roads. He is hot and tired. He thinks he is going to meet with Maasai elders. He cannot be more wrong. As the jeep nears the edge of the village, the man sits up. Clearly, this is no ordinary diplomatic visit. This is a ceremony. Hundreds of Maasai greet the American in a full tribal splendor. At the sight of the brilliant blood-red tunics and spectacular beaded collars, he can only marvel. It is a day of a sacred ritual. Young warriors dance, leaping into the air like fish from a stream. Women sing mournful songs. Children fill their bellies with milk. Speeches are exchanged, and now it is time. Kimeli and his people gathered on a sacred knoll, far from the village. The only sound is the gentle chiming of cowbells. Do you see the diplomat? Look at what he wears. He wears a suit and a hat, and they're wearing their tunics, bright, colorful tunics. The elders chant a blessing in Ma as the Maasai people of Kenya present 14 cows for America. So this tribe of Maasai who don't have much offer the United States of America 14 cows, their most sacred thing, to the United States. Because there is no nation so powerful it cannot be wounded, nor a people so small they cannot offer mighty comfort. To me, that statement is so profound, it gives me goosebumps. And if you look closely, as I was talking about the illustrations, I don't know how clear it is, but in his eye is a reflection of the Twin Towers, the skyscrapers that fell here in New York. And this is a true story. And this is a note from Kimeli, the author, and it goes on to explain further what actually happened. And here's the United States flag. So when you guys return, you may want to check out this book. It's in the nonfiction section called 14 Cows for America. See you next time.